Yeah, Enigma in the house. My man J-Span, Titan Studios. It's called From the Heart. Keeping it real is what all the song's about. Never selling your soul. Always staying true to yourself. Alright, yeah. Check it out. Money, cars. But we'll never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the heart. Yeah, money, cars. But we'll never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the start. Man, money, cars. But we'll never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the heart. Yeah, money, cars. But we'll never get you far unless you gonna spit it.
And welcome back to your favorite weekly sports show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is ITC Sportsball, and I am your man, Jerome Span. Of course, the pretty face on ITC. Don't you forget that, baby. And of course, I am here with the regular Sportsball crew. We have got that hot take spitter, the man who rips like Darline spits. He is the modern day Ali on the microphone. When he steps into your home, all your ladies is gone. He is that man.
You know, it's your boy Mace ready to go.
And of course, we have ITC's resident troll. He is that guy that sees a fire and he says, I got this gasoline and gunpowder. What's happening? If you step into your zone, into his zone, all your mind is gone. He is that man, Daryl.
I'm the uncapper, non-trollish person in the world.
Okay. If you said so, buddy, we don't believe that. Not even for a second. You don't even believe that.
Hey, it's not what you believe, it's what you see.
And what I see is somebody that can't even pick up the gasoline can to put on the fire.
And of course, we have the man who comes in here. He's dropping hot knowledge. He's dropping hot stats. He is that man that comes through and all he's got is facts. He is that man, Dirty Dave.
Man, you sounded like me on that one, Jerome. No lies detected. No lies detected.
I like it. I like it. But of course, we have to get into everything that has happened since last time we were on. We do appreciate everybody that came through on our live stream of Wrestlemania Night 1. Appreciate all of y'all. While you're here, make sure you like, subscribe, share, all this good stuff. Make sure you hit the notification bell so when we drop new content, you guys all get alerted to it. But getting into WrestleMania from last weekend, we have to start with overall thoughts on this. So we might as well go with everybody's favorite wrestling guy around here. Daryl, how did you feel about WrestleMania shaking out?
Night 1 was okay. Night 2 was trash. That's all I gotta say. Lack of entertainment. You know what? Let's take that back. There was only one match on that whole card that was entertaining, and that was the triple threat for the Intercontinental title. Other than that, trash. Ronda, trash. I never seen anybody freaking do no work to win a match. I never seen that in my life.
How many wardrobe adjustments did she have in the match?
I don't know. I don't know why she having wardrobe malfunctions, because what she have? Nothing. I probably get a better wardrobe malfunction from a piece of Pringles than Ronda at this point.
The Pringles, bro?
Dave, what were your overall thoughts on WrestleMania?
Man, we got very different thoughts here. I thought Night 1 was great. A lot of good matches. Rhea Charlotte was a great match, and then I thought Night 2 was solid. I thought the booking lacked, but the entertainment was there for the matches before they got there. So I gave Night 1 an A, and I gave Night B probably like a B minus sort of deal.
What was it? Solid like Shane McMahon's quad?
Oh my God, I really should go with the B minus just because of that whole thing. Why he was there, man.
And that tag team match too. You also giving that a grade of an A of the Fatal 4-Way tag match
on Night 1 from the men's side.
No, yeah. We're talking about 2.
I didn't give day 2 an A.
What would you give day 2?
He's got a B minus.
B minus, yeah.
B minus. Woof. Where you grade that match? What you grade that match?
The women's tag?
Yeah, Fatal 4. What you grade that?
That match was terrible. That was the worst match of the night.
So that's an F, right?
I wouldn't give it an F, probably a D.
So that D just made it go to a B for that night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey man, let's be real about it. That match was not great. That was the match that we all were like, oh, why are we even doing this, right? So I don't think any of us had high expectations of what that match was gonna be. I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, I never seen a lower grade from everybody in my life for a night 2. Like how many years we did WrestleMania? Like 2 days? Is it like 4 years now?
See, I think you have to also. I think you're doing a disservice to everything and being kind of disingenuous when you're acting like the reason why people were so pissed off about night 2 wasn't because they thought Cody was walking out as the champion, and still we have the reigning, defending, undisputed world heavyweight champion Roman Reigns. We still have him. And look, I'm going to say this, plain out simple. And Mace, I'm going to ask you real quick right after I say this, what your thoughts were. But people's reaction to night 2 and Cody Rhodes losing was very outsized. They were emotional in their reaction to it and don't realize that WWE told you guys over 3 years ago that they were about to change the game on storytelling and they were going to start doing things more long-term. Told you this. People weren't listening, forgot. Hell, even myself, I wasn't listening when I'm hearing Cody Rhodes saying, I got to finish the story. We all should have known better. Cody wasn't going to win that match. So I think that's being a little disingenuous when you're talking about people's reaction, because it's like they got pissed off because Cody didn't walk out. But Macy, what's your overall thoughts on the on WrestleMania?
So I don't really have much for night 2 because the only fight I saw was the main event. As you know, your boy was out there in the streets. But the main event for night 2 was actually, it was very entertaining. I mean, it gave you everything you wanted out of a title fight. It was, like I said, the feel-good story didn't happen because Cody Rhodes didn't win, but at the same time, it's not the last time he's going to be in a main event versus Roman Reigns. And my guess is the next time the title changes hands, whatever that may be. But night 1, really solid. Like I said, the only letdown for me night 1 was the 4-way tag match. That was kind of who really we knew what we were.
You know what? I take it back for being trash. I think the entrances did more for me on night 2 than anything else. Entrances were different. We had at least some creativity there. I can't slam it just because of Ronda, even though I should. But you know,
listen. We can always throw dirt on Ronda because she probably deserves it. She doesn't need to be in the ring with a lot of these women. But you know, that's a story for that's a topic for another time. We're gonna let Ronda live short term, I guess.
So all right. While we're here, I want to know everybody's thoughts. Wackest entrance of the night. Who you got? Oh, the 2 nights, I should say. Excuse me.
Of the 2 nights, that's hard. That's hard.
Oh, I can tell you mine right off top. I can tell you mine.
You
Austin Theory, 100%. Austin Theory. How you start the show off, bro, and your entrance is your basic entrance that you do all the time. You ain't got no special outfit, no nothing.
It was special.
WrestleMania.
It was gold. It was gold. It was gold.
He could have at least came out with a vest on or something.
He's not AJ Styles.
He didn't even look like he was ready for WrestleMania. So for me, I'll tell you, I'll start it off with you. It is 100% him all day. Dave, who had the worst entrance of the weekend?
You know what? I'm gonna give you a wild card here. I'm gonna go with just because of how bad the makeup was. Man, she legit scared me. I'm gonna go with Charlotte, man. She looked bad.
Bubble jacket.
Yeah,
that was bland.
Bubble jacket with bad makeup.
That was bland. Like, You're Charlotte Flair. Do something. Do something outlandish. Like do something flamboyant. Something.
She came off a helicopter once.
What kills me is too, they had such a great stage. They had like the stage was awesome. You could come out there and have a great presentation, and yet we saw boring entrances from quite a few people. Daryl, who is the worst entrance for you of the weekend? He wanted to go Austin Theory, but he's like, I can't do that because then they'll just say I'm biting somebody's answers again.
I'll have an honor. While he's thinking, I got an honorable mention, and not that it was bad. I was just a little disappointed. When Ray came out with Snoop, I expected him to flip a switch or something, get that thing hopping, you know. So I was ready. I was like, hey, hit one of them switches, my boy. I was ready. Didn't happen.
Dominic Mysterio's entrance was trash.
Mm-hmm.
His entrance was trash, but like the crowd's reaction to him made up for it.
I could say Dominic. I could say Omos. Omos was simple too. He didn't have anything special.
He's a big dude. What you expect, bro? You want him to like lift?
Nobody
to have a cart on his shoulder, bro, when he's coming down it. Like, what do you want?
Nobody.
Now he wants him to come out in that Deontay Wilder costume, Mace.
And then blame the costume while he lost. Yeah. None of the. Well, yeah. The tag teams, all the tag teams didn't have any special entrances. They were all normal with special clothes. That's all they were. Edge's Brood entrance, weak. That's a Rumble entrance.
You didn't like that?
It was weak. It's half the stage. You're not even doing full cardio. You got an elevator from half the stage. Everybody's expecting you to have like a tremendous type of thing. Hey, we go Brood for like a good 2 minutes. Go back to regular rated R. You're not Brood anymore. You're just rated R Edge. Balor probably outshined Edge's entrance, obviously, because it's Demon. Demon is always different. There's always something. But I liked how the little blend, they had a little Judgment Day, had sparkle a little purple into the makeup and everything, came out with some purple freaking smoke. That makes sense. You're still Judgment Day, you're Demon Finn Balor with Judgment Day. That was creative. I understand that. But certain other, like Bianca's, that was good too. There's also a behind that entrance too. There was also another meaning. That's something special. John Cena with the Make-A-Wish, that's special. Like they had some meaningful entrances, but when we talking about simple entrances, come on now. I love Roman Reigns had the piano playing his theme. I like that. That was interesting. That's different. That's like Shinsuke someone coming with a cello or a violin and start playing his theme. That's different. Well, you got Cody. What did Cody get? Cody get, whoa, yeah. We seen all your entrances pretty much from AEW. AEW had a bet. You had at least a band out there freaking playing your theme. You didn't have nothing for WrestleMania. Like, what can you do? Crap. Seth Rollins had a better freaking entrance than Cody. Let's be honest. Like, we had a conductor. What had happened? But anyway, like, yeah, I'll like, if we rank this for, if I do the unbiased, probably I have to go, honestly, just the tag teams in theory. They have to be the bottom. Like, if we being honest, if we're going on the setting of just playing regular and just you think you're doing a special entrance, NXT Stand and Deliver had better entrances than them then.
Who? Dave, what was your favorite match of the night?
I mean, I think I'm gonna go with the triple threat, the Intercontinental. That's my kind of style of wrestling that I like. I don't like all the flippy stuff, so yeah, I appreciate that one a little bit more. I like that one a lot.
were you surprised that Gunther came out still as the reigning Intercontinental Champion?
You know, kind of half and half, I'd say. I don't really know if I had a favorite between Drew and Sheamus. I thought that ending could have leaned a lot on other booking for the night, but I mean, Gunther deserves it, man. I mean, I hope he ends up being longest reigning, and he said his goal next year is to main event WrestleMania with the IC belts if he still has it. So let's keep putting him in that direction. That would be great.
May, so what's your favorite match of the 2 nights?
Can I take Daryl's role here and troll you a little bit and get a little bit of when I got my fan service with my baby Trish? Like I said, I was.
Oh no, I forgot about that match.
I didn't.
Nah,
I didn't.
Got me a little bit of fan service. I'm here for it.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Leave me.
That gotta go on the bottom with Theory too.
Yeah, that whole thing.
The match was. But hey, we know what that match was. What that match was for.
That was for you, Mace.
Yeah, that was for me.
Yep. Because the match was just dumb. It was dumb.
I've never seen so many jumping spots in tag team matches ever in my life at WrestleMania. You know what? I can't wait to watch Botchamania. I didn't even watch it yet, but I'm gonna watch it. WrestleMania edition.
I'm surprised you wasn't on that next day.
I have to give it a break. I don't want to see Shane tear his quad over again. That would look painful.
Daryl, what was your favorite match of the 2 nights?
I think I said it. I think it was the Intercontinental because that gave the most action, most fan service. Even though I wanted Sheamus to win, you know, that was probably the only thing I really wanted out of all of it. But I'll say, yeah, I have to say that match, that and a little Seth Rollins. You got to get Seth Rollins that love. I like seeing Seth Rollins beat Logan Paul and KSI in the same night. I like it. I'm sorry. We over here don't support Logan Paul.
I mean, that's true. That is very true. But match still could have been done without it. Just put that somewhere else. I'm good.
Hey, WrestleMania could have been done without that fatal 4-way tag match, but we still put it in there. You know what? You know what? That's crazy. This WrestleMania. You notice we didn't have a pre-show with matches, and we usually remember it's always starting around 7 for a match. That should have been a pre-show match, 100%. We did not need that on the main card, not at all. You know what? I'd rather see LA Knight at WrestleMania, but they didn't give it to us. They didn't give us no at all.
That's what you want. That's what I've been waiting. This whole time we've been on this, I've been waiting for him to slide a into the conversation. I knew it was coming.
See,
ain't no way we're gonna talk about anything wrestling related without him saying that. I'm put me down. I'm going all in on that bet. If we talk about wrestling, he's gonna say it every single time. He's gonna find a way.
I'm just telling you the facts of life. That's all.
He wants to do it. He wants to right now.
Hey, I will say this. WWE missed a big opportunity not having LA Knight out there. I mean, for God's sakes, the guy's name is LA Knight and you're in LA. Like, I don't know how much of a more of a handy, easy segment that WWE needed, you know what I mean? But they didn't take it, which was disappointing to not see LA Knight at least come out there and at least cut a promo or something, right? Like, he's hot right now. Like I said, it was in LA. It's an easy win-win for them. But for me, the match of the night, easily, I don't even have any questions, reservations about this at all. It's Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Look, man, you want to talk about artful storytelling of a match inside of the ring? Jesus, man, there was multiple moments where you were like, oh, man, Cody's about to win. Oh, man, Roman's going to win. By the end of the match, until we all saw Solo, we had no idea who was going to win. I know each of us was sitting there watching it thinking, even if he hit this next finish on him, this man Roman might still kick out. Like
I had the stone face sitting back, laying in the bed watching it. I had the stone face. I was like, "Come on, Cody, just win, so I can get it over with, so I can just hear it." But I was like, "Oh yes, Spike, happy." I was like, hey, we forgot one more match. Bobby Lashley wrestling, holding up that trophy.
That ain't no mess. Shut up, man. Shut up, bro. I don't even want to hear it. Just you hush. Over there talk about Bobby bringing out a damn trophy. You hush. But Dave, I have to ask, how were you feeling during the main event between Roman and Cody? That match had a lot of back and forth, up and down. You never knew where it was going to end. How do you feel that they played that match out? What would you give it as an overall grade?
I mean, if we're just talking about the match itself, I mean, I think it's a 10 out of 10. I thought it was a masterpiece. Like you said, man, ups and downs and lefts and rights and man, good action, good moves. They brought in the timing of everything was really good. I thought when people were coming in to interfere. So if we're saying just the match 10 out of 10, but man, I don't think it's going to get any bigger than Cody in that moment, how over he was. And, they got to have something really special planned. Otherwise, I think they missed a big time opportunity there. So think about it afterwards. I mean, the post brings it down in my book if we're grading long term.
Just remember this, though. WWE had us mad for a solid year after Daniel Bryan lost in 17 seconds. And nobody knew that the ending was going to be Daniel Bryan standing at WrestleMania. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I feel like this is another long-term play to say, hey, we're going to give Cody his WrestleMania moment, but just not when you guys thought it was going to be, because that's too easy. Hell, what did Paul Heyman say in his interview with Ariel Helwani? He said, you always go for the biggest cash that you can. And what's the biggest cash? You plan it all the way to, you tell this story all the way to WrestleMania next year. And guess what? That stadium in Philly is going to be electric, chanting for Cody Rhodes to win. I'm talking about it. I think it'll be as visceral as when Rob Van Dam fought John Cena for the ECW World Heavyweight title. I think it's going to be the exact same type of environment where the crowd is going to be completely against Roman and completely with Cody Rhodes. So I think it's going to be an artful long-term selling. Me personally, I give it a 10 out of 10. Daryl, what would you give it?
For Reigns and Cody?
Yes.
Yeah, it was 10 out of 10. Yeah, I can't disagree with that one. No troll.
Mace, how about you?
Give it a solid 10. It was an excellent match, man. I mean, everything you wanted out of a main event, you got.
Now, I'm gonna ask you guys kind of a hard question. Everything that happened now, I know this is kind of projection. What is our SummerSlam main event? I got y'all thinking. I can see it on your faces now. Like, that is a good question.
It is really tough to say right now. I could see with how SmackDown played out yesterday, I could see them doing a long, maybe like a little bit longer build-up for a Sammy versus Roman main event. See if they keep him in that spotlight shot. Because last time between the Rumble and Chamber was just a few weeks. You didn't really get to tell a story, so that story could end up on the big stage there, and that's definitely a credible threat if people think he could be the one to take down Roman.
Mace, how about you? What do you think is going to be the SummerSlam main event?
That's tough. I'm kind of lost here because I don't think they're going to immediately go back to Cody and Roman. Like I said, they have to somehow build this story up long term. They might have a few encounters before SummerSlam, but I don't think that'll be the SummerSlam main event. So it's up in the air for me.
You're undecided. Fair enough. Daryl, who you got going into you're way too early call now of what the SummerSlam main event's going to be?
Reigns versus one of the either Jay or Jimmy.
I'm going Reigns versus Jay for sure because he's already main event Jay. We all know who that man is because that's going to – I think the fracturing of the bloodline will have happened by then, and by SummerSlam, the bloodline is going to consist of Roman, Solo, and Paul Heyman. I don't think the Usos are going to be involved in that long term just because, like, you can't keep having this force that basically nobody can beat be at Roman's back, right? You have to add in some cracks somehow, some way. So the crack keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so that by the time you hit WrestleMania, maybe even Solo has said, F you, Roman, right? I'm out of here. I'm going with my brothers, right?
Or
so we'll see.
Or Randy Orton.
If you don't stop bringing up Randy Orton, bro, nobody wants to see him in the title picture ever again.
I am tired of seeing Matt Riddle feud with Roman Reigns. That was tiring. You need to stop. We got sober Matt Riddle jumping in the bloodline business. I ain't dealing with this again. This was already played out when it was doing it the first time. I'm done with Riddle. Riddle is, I don't know what they're doing with Riddle, but you injecting them right back into the same thing again, that is getting boring and boring. What are we doing with Solo? That's the real question. Is Solo going to actually get a title, or Solo is just going to be the guy who just enforces all day? Like, you got to do something with Solo. Like
within the next 6 months, Solo is either going to defeat Austin Theory or Gunther for their title. I mark my words right now. It is going to be one of the two.
In fact, I think it could be as soon as maybe King and Queen of the Ring, because think about the crazy main event we could have at Money in the Bank in London of Roman versus Gunther. And I could still see Gunther being the guy to take the title off Roman, by the way.
Yeah.
My only issue with it, Dave, because I like agree with you so much about that. The one thing that gives me the reservation about it is they're not going to have Roman lose to another heel. Mm-hmm. And I don't see any reasonable way that you can turn Gunther into a face quick enough and make it feel authentic so then it works with your story, right? Like this story has to end with a face beating Roman Reigns, and it's not going to be another bad guy. You know what I mean? And that's where my only thing comes in.
Can I fantasy book that for 2 seconds and I'll leave it alone?
Go ahead.
Pay-per-view, let's have it be Gunther versus Sheamus one last time, one last chance for Sheamus. Maybe afterwards, after another great match, they could have their moment of respect, maybe shake hands. And then if the Bloodline and Solo start going after Gunther, you could make that turn in 2 nights. And Gunther could be a top face people are cheering for, in my opinion.
But does he work long-term as a face? I don't see it. He's such a natural heel. He's just like Austin Theory. They are natural heels. Like, you have to keep these guys as bad guys because nobody's gonna believe them if they're a face, right? Like, think about it. If Austin Theory all of a sudden turned face next month, we would all be like, "Okay, Austin, we just waiting on you to turn on somebody. We're just waiting for it." You know what I mean? Like, you have to have I guess a long-term play, but I do like where your head's at because I would love to see Gunther and Sheamus go at it again because, golly, them boys was trying to tear the house down at WrestleMania. I mean, look, if not for the Roman and Cody match, that was my number one match, 100%. They went crazy in that match, man. So I guess only time will tell, right? We will have to see as things go on here. We're just getting into the after WrestleMania. All the business is going to go on. So one thing we got to touch on before we move on is the announcement that came out at last night's SmackDown from Triple H saying that the draft, Daryl's favorite thing, which he was asking for, is now going to be back again. Dave, how you feel, man?
I love it. I think W is always best when there's 2 brands. As long as you're not trying to make it like 2 brands in like a Survivor Series where nobody cares who beats the other one. But, giving more guys the opportunity to get higher level matches, putting more people on cards, all good things to me. I like the idea. I think it'll be solid moving forward.
Why I have a horrible feeling that they're going to do Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins. Why do I feel like that's going to happen? I don't know. I just feel it. I feel that draft is gonna cause that, yo. I just feel it.
I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about the draft? Like, I don't care, but look, why are you talking? You know what? Stop always talking about Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. There are other wrestlers in the world, Daryl. Okay.
Hey, in my eyes right now, that draft is only going to tell 2 things. Which belts are you switching, and are you splitting them? That's all it is. It's like Intercontinental is going to be on Raw. US is going to go right back to SmackDown. Who else is coming back off of injury? That's all that is. That's all the draft is. Roman Reigns is going to be on the one show that makes WWE's money, and that will be SmackDown. It won't be Raw. Raw is a downhill spiral. They haven't fixed anything with Raw. They've been still putting out the same crap. I'm sorry. We can have Miz being the best talker, but he ain't bringing in W's. We got Johnny Gargano. Is he bringing in W's in the Raw? No.
Say it right. Your boy, Johnny Gargano.
You can stop this right now. That's why he went.
Where he from? Where he came from?
He came from Ohio, didn't he? Oh, you talking?
That's not what I mean.
Where
he came from, Daryl?
You talk about NXT? Same place where Seth Rollins came from?
Seth Rollins came from OVW. Get it right.
Hey, he's the first NXT champion. Put some respect on him.
He came from OVW. They were OVW trained, and then they turned NXT into a product that they can put on TV. He is an OVW product, just like Roman Reigns.
Finn Balor?
Don't try and play me.
Finn Balor?
Finn Balor was an independent product. That man was wrestling on independence forever and a day. He was in the Bullet Club before he ever even came there.
Stop letting this man make you jump into the rabbit hole, bro. Yeah, I see what he's doing. Listen, I like the idea of the draft. I think this could be the start of the fracture of the bloodline, because let's just say they somehow split them up and now they have to start forming bonds with other people, and then such and such event they have to now the bloodline is no more, because you can't have them on separate shows. So I mean, it's the simplest way to split them up, but I think it would also be the most effective way to do it, because if you get somebody else in their ear besides Paul Heyman, what happens then?
That's a good point.
I got one more question. This one actually, let's take it away from Bloodline. Let's take it away from all the bends. Does this draft help the women's division? That's what I want to know.
This draft could potentially help the women's division, but the thing that would help the women's division more than anything is stop using Ronda and Charlotte in the title pictures of everything. You have to stop that. You know why Bianca Belair works as a character? Because you have allowed her to go up against opponent after opponent on her own, standing on her own 2 feet. Before she even got the title, she was taking out opponent after opponent. She wasn't even competing for the title yet, but she was in relevant storylines. The biggest thing WWE needs to do is start putting these women in relevant storylines. And stop trying to pigeonhole some of them based off of your looks. Look, man, some of these women, clearly, some may be more attractive than the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a clear line between who's a good wrestler and who's not. They need to start using their good wrestlers more. The problem is that they've been trying to push over people like Ronda and Shayna for so long and force them down your throat and keep feeding them to you over and over, right? That, hey, now it doesn't feel natural. Now it feels stupid, because it's like, all right, even if they're women that are better actual performing wrestlers in the ring, they're not going to get their opportunity because, it's just going to be Ronda and Shayna. And then if you're on the other show, it's going to be Charlotte.
You might as well keep them together.
You mean
Hey, get Raina out of here.
you mean the Ronda and Baszler constantly beating up Liv, Shotzi, and I forgot her name.
I totally just blanked out her name, and I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. She's the powerhouse, but I can't think of her name right now.
Like I said, the best thing that could happen, like I said, the best thing that could happen to the women's division in WWE is to not use Charlotte and Ronda. That's best case scenario, is that you force them down a few pegs and make them climb their way back up.
Hey, what Ronda wants, Ronda gets. We're just stalling for them to have the tag team titles. That's all we're doing, because she's injured right now. That's the reason why she don't have the title right now. It's the only reason, and that's bad.
Can we talk about how damning it is for Raquel that you guys couldn't even remember her name?
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
there we go.
It is. You know what's crazy? I actually enjoy her wrestling. That's the crazy part.
There we go. Dave coming in with the facts.
See?
He knew. We were just like, well, I don't want to say anything else. I was just like, the girl that flexes her back all the time in the middle of the ring. That's all it is.
She's got a strong back, bro. You know how proud women are of their strong backs, okay?
Well, she ain't doing none of that lifting on her back on SmackDown, so I'm sorry.
Damn.
Oh, well, she got the team on her back now. They're about to have a draft. She about to be number 1, son. What you mean?
Hey, we could put her back in NXT.
I just need her to get a new character besides strong woman that smiles a lot. That's all she is. I mean, if she could do something with a microphone or something, and I'm tired of seeing her smile like that, man. Yo, this is why all the larger women that we've had are much better heels. They play that giant role, and she could play that role too. But right now, she's what our favorite female Ronda is she just has 2 emotions. It's either really happy or really angry, and then she wrestles, and that's it. That's all she got.
Whatever happened to the other girl that debuted and then had a rivalry and then just left? It was the one girl. I think she had that whole Chinese samurai gimmick.
Oh, I know who you talk about, because me and Destiny seen her live, and she can actually wrestle, but I can't think of her name. Again, though, to Dave's point, isn't that kind of damning on her point, where it's like we can't even think of her name? Like I can think of Dakota Kai and Io Sky, right? Did I do that wrong? Did I mix them up?
No, you got it. Dakota
Okay,
Kai.
yeah. So I can think of their names, right? But I can't think of.
But the reason why, because they've been throwing that in our face with damage control every single week.
But I knew who Dakota Kai and Io Sky were when they were on NXT.
What?
See what I'm saying?
Wait, who?
Who? because they had made a name for themselves, right? They had done things that were impressive that had made me, as the fan who's like, dog, you can keep your NXT. Yeah, I'm at least go watch this match on YouTube real quick, see what they talking about, see if all this hype is actually worth something. And when I've looked into them, their hype was worth something, right? Yes, both of them still got some rough edges they need to round out for sure in their wrestling game, but they're good wrestlers, they're entertaining. So I don't know, man. But to the point of what we were talking about, right? You asked, is this good for the women, right? If they keep Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair out of the title picture. Because if we're talking about it real talk, right? Pretty much since they have made like Raw and SmackDown women's title, it's pretty much been 4 or 5 women, right? It's been Charlotte, Sasha, Becky, Butterface, and
who's Butterface?
And Ronda. You know who Butterface is.
Who's Butterface?
Think about it for a second. I've said it to you. Think about it. You know who it is. I've said it to you before. Okay.
I'm gonna let it ride, but I'm gonna say one thing.
Who's the 3rd member of Damage Control?
Oh, you mean Bayley? Nah, but seriously, I need them to stop. Also, what they do with these tag teams, like with the tag team title, stop putting wrestlers that had a successful singles career in the WWE together and making them tag team, forcing them to be tag teams. Like,
well, yeah,
I
that's
don't
not good either.
like they've been doing that. They've been collapsing that as well. Like Shayna Baszler, she was good in NXT as a solo, and she had her 2 lackeys that they laid off. And then you bring her up to the main roster, kill her gimmick, make her do so much dumb stuff. Then you try to reclaim her to be a clean badass and go with Ronda finally after half of the horsewomen for WWE are gone. I think that's crazy. It's like timing is everything, and you don't execute that timing, it's going to suck. So now we have the Charlotte Ronda show. I can't even talk about Bianca because Bianca is innocent to all this stuff. All she's been doing has been working, killing the competition that she has been getting over and over again. And we just had the same old SmackDown storyline for 6 months. That's what literally it comes to. And I like how they tease a little Rhea and Bianca. They might want to do that whole 2 belt thing again. I think they're going to do it. I think that's a SummerSlam thing.
Well, here's, I think, the crux of the issue that I think we all keep referring to, especially when it comes to them not getting other people involved in the title picture. So, list of combined reigns. We'll start with the Raw Women's Championship. Okay, Charlotte Flair 6, Sasha Banks 5, Alexa Bliss 3, Becky Lynch 2, Asuka 2. Bianca's had her one long reign that she's had now, right? Ronda, Rhea, Bayley, Nia Jax, and Nikki ASH all only had 1 reign. Now, let's take it on over to SmackDown, right?
Oof.
Charlotte with 7, then Becky with 4, then the next couple have 2. Bayley, Naomi, Ronda Rousey, Alexa Bliss. Then you get into the 1 category. Sasha Banks, Bianca, Carmella, Asuka, Liv Morgan, Natalya, Rhea Ripley. Dog, Charlotte Flair is your problem. If you cannot see it right there, I don't know what else to do at this point, right? Like, it's so very obvious at this point that you have to get her out of the title picture. But we have to get things moving along here. I've let us talk about WrestleMania for quite longer than I actually expected us to. So we have to move on here to all these adults out here losing their mind over what transpired during the women's college final with somebody getting hit with the "you can't see me." Okay, which also shout outs to John Cena for giving Tony Yayo his credit, as he's always done, and for finally people starting to realize, oh wait, that was Tony Yayo in the video. Yes, the dude who we all was screaming free Tony Yayo is why John Cena does "you can't see me." All right, but in that game, we got to see America. Hey. And no disrespect to her, because I really actually like her. We're going to call her America's sweetheart out here that everybody got all in their feelings for, because somebody decided to come hit her with the "you can't see me" after she was being mad disrespectful the game before, telling folks "you can't see me." See somebody at the 3-point line and say, "Oh, no, dog, I ain't even got to worry about you." But then as soon as somebody hit her with the "you can't see me," we got dummies like Portnoy and Oberman out here. Oh, what a piece of trash. You got no class, blah, blah, blah. First off, Dave Portnoy, you ain't got no grounds to criticize what anybody does talking about class. You's a classless SOB, and you can, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, look, I got real problems with Portnoy and a lot of how them boys at Barstool get down. Hey, y'all want to sit here and act like, oh, no, we're just being frat boys. Hey, that doesn't excuse your racism. But we'll get to that at a different day and time. Regardless, you got dudes like that saying that. You're out of your mind, Portnoy. And then you got Oberman sitting here crying a river. Oh, my God, you're such a boy. How could you do that? Why are you going around fault? And then as soon as he found out the facts that America's sweetheart was out here telling people "you can't see me," he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry for what I said. Why you even open up your mouth in the first place? You should just shut the hell up." How about that? So I just got to ask Dave Mace, how you guys feel about these people out here losing their mind? Well, we all know we love sports where dudes be talking trash. Dudes sit here and and lionized dudes like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, who sat there and was talking trash in dudes' faces, greasy style. But then as soon as it happens at the college game, oh my God. How y'all feel about this?
Dave, I'll let you go first on here because I'm hopping on the soapbox.
Okay, well, I'll make it quick then. I mean, I think it's just craziness. It makes no sense. You know, that's what makes the games fun. You know, we talk about this with baseball all the time. You know, should people be allowed to pimp their home runs? And yeah, it makes it more fun, man. You know, I'm happy Angel Reese jumped in there and did what she had to do. You know, they were a great team. You know, yeah, I mean, when you're Caitlin Clark and you act like that, people are gonna put a target on your back and they're gonna, you know, really feel that emotion after they do it. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, if you can't take it, you can't give it. And I thought it was great for the game. We haven't talked about college women's basketball this much in however long. So, I mean, it's going to work out in the end for them, I think.
We haven't talked about women's college basketball since Maya Moore was in college. If you really think about it, I mean, has there been a more polarizing figure since then? I mean, we always try to hype up the next UConn great. But at the same time, like for the game, before we get to all these people losing their mind, for the game, for me, I went in, I was expecting Caitlin to be a dog out there, and she was. But at the same time, LSU was just a complete team. And listen, Angel Reese had she's been talking trash to people all year, and people been upset all year. So you think in the title game against the baddest girl in college basketball, when you win it, you think she ain't going?
Yeah.
Yo, are y'all crazy? Listen, she from the hood. She from Baltimore. She from the hood. That's what they do. This ain't no. What do you expect? Paige went out there, or not Paige. Sorry, Caitlin went out there, did what she do. You know she out there. She with it. Her team just couldn't bring none along with him. So you know she was subject to the you can't see me. It is what it is. But that game was great. I mean, there was better shot making in that game than any men's basketball game over the course of the tournament.
Yep.
I mean, the shot making from that game, the running floaters through the lane, the 3-point shots, everything. Angel Reese nobody could contain her in the post. I mean, she was just an animal down there in the post, and then what it came down to is just LSU. They just wanted it more. And before I go any further, can we talk about my girl Kim Mulkey out there shining on them?
You sure that's your girl?
Be quiet. I'm just talking about the uniform. I'm just talking about the wardrobe right now.
You sure that's your girl?
I'm just talking about.
You can just say she would look. You can just say she was looking fresh. You didn't have to call her your girl.
Hey, you see out there in the rainbow shining tiger stripe, man. Listen, bro. If anything, I'm here for Kim Mulkey's wardrobes. I'm here for him. All next season, I'm here for him. I'm tuning in to see what she's wearing. But y'all people need to chill.
You sure you want to call her your girl?
I said her uniform, her outfits. I'm specifically talking about the outfits. You don't be trying to rain on my parade right now.
That seemed like the one that she's gonna wear to the next President Trump rally in Louisiana. So,
hey man, all I know is that she had them young ladies in LSU balling. She took them from like 7 and whatever the case to a national title in 2 years.
Hey, look, if we just talking about Kim Mulkey as a coach, she has my utmost respect as a coach. I think she's outstanding at what she does, right? I think it is amazing the quality that her teams have consistently been over her coaching career, right? But that don't make me forget what else she be talking. That didn't make me forget the greasy stuff she was saying about Brittany Griner when she was over there in prison. So, congrats to y'all, LSU, except Kim Mulkey. Okay, let me just be very congrats to everybody over there except for that damn coach. I can't rock with you.
But man, people really lost their minds on this one. Like, why? Like, what it comes down to, why is it acceptable for men to trash talk each other, but when your American sweetheart gets trash talked, all of a sudden it's the old, those black girls over there got no respect. Let's just call it what it was. It was, I mean, you look at this game, it was America's team versus the hood. Let's just call this what this was. Let's just be real about it. And people got upset when them black girls gave them the work. Personally, I was rooting for Iowa. I was like, Caitlin, a dog. I need to get you one. You know, so I like to see when people get theirs. So that's what I would. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be the hater here talking about LSU didn't deserve to talk smack like they did. They deserved every piece of that.
I'm just gonna simply say that I've told y'all for years that if you can enjoy basketball without the dunks, the women's game, for the most part, gives you a more consistently quality product, right? I understand for a lot of people, the dunks are where it's at, right? The high flying moves and stuff, that's where it's at. But if you want to see great basketball, you should have been watching the women's game for years. I know I've enjoyed it for years. I mean, it's been, to call myself an actual fan of like women's college basketball in the WNBA, I'd say it's been over 12 years. And you know who did it for me personally was Diana Taurasi. I was watching her hooping people up.
Hey, Diana, listen, bro. For all those people who want to talk about the WNBA and all this and that, listen, dog. Can't none of y'all hold her jockstrap. I don't care how old she is. Can't not a single one of y'all who think the WNBA need to lower the goals, need to do all this extra stuff. Y'all can't hold Diana Taurasi's jockstrap. You can't do it. She giving you buckets.
Who's the one for you that turns you on to the women's college game and like women pro game? Who was the one that it was like, ooh, he was a bad mother trucker?
It was Candace Parker. I'll tell you right now.
Hey, I got to see CP play in high school. Let me tell you that. You want to talk about unfair?
Mm-hmm. Can't listen, bro. Can't listen, dog. Candace Parker, certified dog. You think Andrew Reese talked smack to Caitlin like that? Let Candace Parker sub in for Andrew Reese right there. Caitlin would have ran them off the court. Smack talking them. She would have ran them off the court. Y'all just don't know. Candace Parker, certified.
She's my personal favorite women's player of all time. Is Candace Parker. See, look, you from the crib. Andrew's a dog. Come on, baby. What's happening? So, Dave, who is it for you? Because I know for me, like I said, it was Diana that turned me on to really like make me be like, I need to watch this, see what this is about. Who is it for you?
Yeah, I mean, in college, I hate to just agree, but Candace was for sure the first one for me. I've always liked Tennessee stuff. And of course, her being from Chicago, I liked it. I'd say the person that made me start watching WNBA games because there's so few games that are available. So when you live in Chicago, the only chance you get is the Sky. And man, the Sky were bad for a long time. But then Elena Deladon came through and she changed the WNBA game. Sure.
She was a dog.
Yeah, she got me on WNBA for sure. Candace for college, Elena for the WNBA though.
But that's what we're telling y'all. Like we're three guys who you hear what we talk about, right? Like you hear what this show is all about. You know what the ITC brand is about. We all love the women's game because we know there's some dogs out there. Like, bruh, look, I'm gonna just tell you something. Watching Candace Parker play against other high school women was the most unfair thing I've ever seen in my life. Some people will tell you it was Shaq against other high school players or something like that, or like Zion against some of the dudes he was playing against, right? No, dog. No. Candace Parker was out here and it was unfair. She She didn't have to go full go all the time to hoop them up like crazy, bro. That's the wildest part. I knew she was great. It wasn't until she got to college that I was like, oh, you was holding back. You wasn't even going fully hard. Like, oh my God. But yeah, there are most definitely some women out there that they get it in. And I just want to say, America, look, I'm glad y'all paying attention to the women's college game and women's basketball finally. We done told you to do this for a long time on ITC. Glad you're doing it. But at the same time, I'm going to need y'all to stop acting like little baby back. You know what it is, okay? I'm going to need y'all to grow a spine, get some webos, and stop sitting there being so soft. Because trash talking is a big part of the game that we have always loved. And if you don't know that, that means you probably have never stepped on the court before. Yeah. It's just facts. But while we talking about people with saying crazy things, sometimes there are some things that get very much underneath your skin, and it gets you going a little crazy, and you're like, what is going on? We're here to tell you about those type of stories this week. It is Mace's Madness.
Buckle up, people, because
it's red.
We got a long ways to go here. So first off, we're gonna start up in Kansas. I be trying my hardest to make these madnesses lighthearted, try to find something to just really just kind of gets under my skin, grinds my gears a little bit. But the way some of these people acting around here, listen. So for the people that probably don't know, maybe apparently you can check children's genitals in Kansas now when it comes to sports. Because there are reportedly of the or however many middle school, high school athletes in Kansas, reportedly two transgender. So because of those two children, now
there are 402,000 students registered in the Kansas school activities.
Yeah,
and only two of them identify as transgender. Only two.
So because of those two, now your baby's got to pull down their pants for some adult to figure out what they got down there to see if they're able to participate in a sport. Listen, I don't have kids. Maybe I'll mature once I do. But if I find out something like that happened to my kid, listen, man, I'm setting the school on fire. I'm be real with you. Somebody in there got to go. I don't know who it is. It might somebody in that school got to go. Just straight up. I don't. Who sits there, writes these up, because they have to be written up, submitted, voted on. Who sits there, writes this stuff up, be like, yeah, this is a banger right here, this the one. Who writes these things up?
Another one.
Okay, so it doesn't get better from here, people. It just keeps going downhill. So now we're gonna slide over west a little bit.
Wait a minute, how much darker can we get than that?
So apparently in Idaho, you can now go to jail for leaving the state to get an abortion. That's a thing now. They just kind of slid that under the bus while all this other stuff is going down. So I mean, again, we're telling people who aren't us what to do with their bodies. It's just wild to me. It's what are we doing here? So now you can go to jail for leaving and bro, what? I just can't. Every time I try to cool off on these American politicians, they start doing stuff like this. What, man? It's bad enough you want to outlaw things that got nothing to do with you in your own state, but now somebody can go somewhere else and they still go to jail. Y'all boys are wild. I'm not here for it.
No, I how would you even combat, like how would you even figure out somebody went there just for that reason?
Yeah, see that.
Oh no, I just went out of the state. I just traveled. I went on vacation. Did I happen to get an abortion while I was out there? Yeah, but that was just, we just thought about spur of the moment sort of deal. That's what I would say.
Yeah, but it's like that's the point right there. Like, how do you are you using taxpayer money to hire private investigators to follow people that leave the state? Like, how are you figuring out that somebody leaves the state for this purpose?
Yeah.
Because medical records are confidential. So now if they're somehow strong arming clinics and doctors' offices, I feel like that's illegal.
Should be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's illegal to make somebody tell you that.
Yeah.
But moving along here, now we got to slide east. It's still going. We sliding east on over to Tennessee real quick.
America do better.
We got to do more better, man. So obviously there's protests to gun violence. Obviously they would like those things are happening. So apparently 2 of the 3 state representatives that protested along with the population, with the citizens of Tennessee, got kicked out the club. And that's not the bad part. That is the bad part, but it gets a little worse than that. It gets a little darker than that, if you know what I'm talking about. 2 of the 3 people that got kicked out the club, they got kicked out for being uppity Negroes. Let's just put it to you like that. I mean, I have no other way. That's the best way I can put it to y'all right now. They got kicked out the club for saying too much of the right stuff to the wrong people.
For those that don't know, for context, what Mason's talking about, in the state legislature of Tennessee, there was 3 members of the Congress there that was protesting. 2 of them were young black men. The other was a 60-year-old white woman. The 2 young black men got expelled. The 60-year-old white woman did not.
The story goes a little deeper than that. So apparently the state is threatening, I think it's Shelby County. That's where Memphis is. They're threatening pretty much the city of Memphis to stop funding them if they reappoint one of the gentlemen that was kicked out. Like, if they revote this man back in, they're going to stop funding the city. They're just like, nah, bro, we pulling your money if y'all put him back in office. How can you even do that? That doesn't feel like very democratic, if you ask me.
No.
That just doesn't feel very democratic. What are we doing, people? What are we doing?
Hey, America, your racism showing.
And people don't even try to hide it anymore. It's just. Oh, man.
No, I mean, the prouder you are about it, the more votes you're gonna get from a certain, former president's favorite demographic, the uneducated. I mean, it's simple facts.
I mean, y'all. I mean, this is wild, man. Like states and senators and governors are just spitting in democracy's face, and y'all and some of y'all, I'm talking to the ones of y'all know who I'm talking about when I say y'all are cheering them on. How terrible of a person do you have to be happy that somebody else is losing out on rights? I just don't get it. How terrible of a person do you have to be to want somebody to have less than? or to not even have a choice. That's really what it comes down to. You sitting here wanting people you don't know nothing about them to not have a choice. And y'all, and that's cool. What? Come on, man. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even, like, this is things I can't even be mad about. It's just disheartening. I can't even really be mad about these things because it's like it keeps happening. You can't just be mad all the time that this stuff keeps. It's just disheartening at this point. It's like it keeps on happening.
Man, very well put, man. Yeah, it's also scary. I mean, no one's just seeing what these people are capable of, man. It's
It is very scary.
Disturbing. And yeah, Dave, you're right. It's disturbing, it's scary, and something that we've talked about going back years on this. If the fact that kids are dying does not bother you, and the fact that innocent people on top of innocent people are dying to gun violence that could potentially be avoided, it's not something's wrong with me. It's something's wrong with you.
spot on.
Each and every week, ladies and gentlemen, we give you a trip into the mind of a madman where sometimes we have a little bit of fun. Sometimes we got to give you that real. This week it was that real. Some weird stuff. Let me tell you, we're going to have to talk more about some of this stuff in the future for sure. Crazy madness out here. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was another Mace's Madness. We got to keep the train moving as we always do here, just to make sure that we get through as much as we can for you each and every week. That being said, the NBA playoff picture has finally started to shake out here. We pretty much know who's in the playoffs and who's not. We saw a team last night, Dave, go up against our Bulls, and before they even walked into the arena, they was like 1, 2, 3, Cancun. So now that we see how the seeding is pretty much shaking out, how do you feel? Let's start with some of these play-in games, right? How do you feel they're going to shake out? We know the Bulls are going to end up being in one, which is, by the way, people, you about to see a little bit of what we're going to do on our Chicago show. So, like it. I get too excited. I'm sorry. But, Dave, how do you feel about some of these play-in games? Let's start with the Bulls, since me and you are most definitely Chicago guys. How do you feel about what's going to happen with the Bulls here?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting matchup with Toronto first up. The Bulls are so capable of letting some, B-level players become superstars against them. And the Raptors got quite a few guys who are B-level players that could play like superstars. Guys like Fred VanVleet and Scotty Barnes, if he's going to have his coming out party, this is the time for it. I think the Bulls are the better of those two teams, and I would have been more confident talking about the Hawks before their most recent matchup. Hawks kind of put it to them without some of their best players, but I think the Bulls got a decent chance of getting out of this. If they play Miami, they have a good record against Miami this year, so I think one game the Bulls could beat any of them, but it's all just to get swept by Milwaukee anyways. So, we're just analyze at this point. It's not like we got anything coming up afterwards.
The Bulls were the masters of this season, the masters of we going to beat teams that we don't got no damn business beating, but all these bums that we should be beating, now we about to lose to them. They were the masters of it this season, dude. It was like perfect example. When we me, my wife, my daughter, and my dad, we went to the Bulls and Bucks, right before the All-Star break. Giannis gets hurt early in the game, but we let Brook Lopez bop our head. I don't understand, bro. But that's what the Bulls have been all season, right? It's like you look up they're playing against Golden State, right? Oh man, we're gonna play great tonight, right? Oh, they're going up against Memphis. Oh man, we're gonna play hard. We're gonna play great tonight. Play against Charlotte, New Orleans, and Orlando. We're gonna lose 3 games straight. Like what is this? What is this?
Bad coaching. Either the team's not ready, the team don't have a good strategy. I thought Billy Donovan was really poor this year after last year being, a real big asset, but his lineup decisions, how his team performed after halftime every game, how his team reacted to changes from the other team, they were too slow. They didn't want to make the changes. They thought they could still control how the game was being played, and man, it showed against those bad teams. Against good teams, sometimes they try to get a little too cute to fix things, whereas the bad teams just, all right, this guy's hot, put him in the game. It doesn't matter what our normal rotation is. Just, all right, this guy made a few shots, let him keep making shots. And the Bulls they just never went after those guys, and it hurt them all year.
Now, outside of the Bulls, Mace, it's looking like your Lakers are finally going to, after we have clowned on these dudes all season long. In fairness, since the moves that they have made during about the middle part of the year here, they have actually been one of the best teams in basketball, especially defensively. Since they've made those trades, if I remember the numbers right, they've actually been the best defensive team in basketball. All that being said, how do you feel about the Lakers' chances going into the playoffs here, Mace?
I think they have just about as good a chance as any team in the West. I mean, no team in the West really scares you. You're not like looking at any matchup and like, I want to avoid that team. The closest thing to it is maybe Phoenix, just because they are, I want to say, undefeated whenever Durant and Booker both play in the game. So, I mean, the shot-making ability of those, like we said, always in the playoffs, your best players or your best few players' shot-making ability usually it tells the tale of that game. So to have two guys of that caliber shot makers, I mean, it allows for anything. It allows to make up for a lot of deficiencies for a team to have a Durant and a Booker, but those two good of players. So I mean, the Lakers have a good, and if they show up the 6th seed where we're going against the Kings, like, who even thought the Kings were? I mean, without knowing what's going on in this NBA season, who would have thought the Kings would be in the playoffs, let alone the 3 seed? So, I mean, best case scenario for them is to play the Kings first round. So, I mean, I think they have to do whatever they can to not be in that play-in scenario and have to face either Memphis or Denver in the first round. But
who would have thought we'd live to see the day where a Lakers fan is out here saying they don't want to see the Kings? Who?
No, I said we want to see the Kings.
Y'all don't want to see them young boys. Y'all don't want to see them. No, you don't.
Of any team in the top 4, Kings is who you want. Like I say, you don't want Phoenix. Of any of those, you don't want Phoenix. Say what you want to about how washed Chris Paul may be. DeAndre Ayton really ain't that guy. They lost a little bit of depth, but Durant and Booker, like I said, they're undefeated when they play together, and it's not like it in games that don't matter. Like, all these games matter for them because the seeding really isn't set as far as who's playing who yet. Like I said, I think 1 through 4 is set, but everything else below that, everybody's fighting for a spot.
Dave, do you believe in the Lakers?
Oh yeah, absolutely. After those moves at the deadline, they could rebound, they could play defense. They got guys who hustle. They got some shot makers, and they're great at getting to the line, and they hit their shots there. I think altogether, before the trade deadline, no chance. But with all the height they added, which is what they needed, and that defensive ability on the outside, I think they're a very formidable threat. In fact, I think if I was them, I think opposite the team that I want. If I want the easiest first round matchup, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I want Denver. I think AD would shut down Jokic. LeBron could play good defense on the side. I think that could be an 8-1 sweep if the Lakers play well. Sweep 4 games.
I can see that, because I think the best thing the Lakers did is probably adding Jared Vanderbilt, because I mean, you have a wing defender now, because I mean, LeBron, he's an off-ball defender. LeBron's good in the passing lanes, but you don't need to put him on somebody and be like, we need you to stay in front of him all game.
Right.
When you add him,
Dave out here on his die line, boy, spitting that hot fire.
Yeah, so I mean, the Lakers did everything they needed to do. I've been low on them all season just because of how they started, what their team was at the beginning of the season, and to be a good franchise, you cannot like have to make panic moves in the fashion that the Lakers had to and expect good things to happen. But the crazy thing is, good things has happened. Like, they have turned this roster around, and they could very well turn their season around and come out of the West.
Like, I'm gonna stick to what I said a few weeks ago, probably about 2 months ago. Now that I'm thinking about it, Paul George is healthy. I'm taking the Clippers out the West. I don't care. If I understand two things, right? Playoff P, and they're the Clippers. I get it, people. I get it. And you're looking at me and you're like, dog, can you really believe in them? They got Kawhi. So Playoff P doesn't have to be the man. They just need Kawhi to stay healthy. So if Playoff P come back and can be healthy, I think them boys are coming out the West. I think they present such a bad matchup problem for anybody else, because how do you deal with two elite wing defenders? How? Yeah, hey, look, plain out simple. We know guys like Jokic, right? They're going to probably get his against a team like the Clippers. He going to get his. But ain't nobody else about to get nothing. So unless Jokic, like let the Clippers run up against the Nuggets, right?
Oh, that's
unless
it.
Jokic is going to score 70 a game, they probably going home in 5. And
Listen,
I ask, if the Nuggets don't get out of the first round this year, if they actually, let's put it this way, if they do not make the conference finals, is Jokic's MVPs, are they now as valuable as the MVP that Dirk got the year that they got sent out in the first round?
No. No, he's been killing. I mean,
What's the difference?
We got to stop this whole thing of using the playoffs to justify somebody's regular season award.
Yeah,
that's the whole reason. I mean, we could say that is the crux of the reason why so many players sit out in the regular season, is because if they do somehow have a good regular season, all of that's going to be thrown out the window if they don't perform in the playoffs. I think you have to take those as two separate entities. Oh, yeah. we got to stop this whole. We got to stop this.
Yeah.
The MVP means nothing if your team doesn't perform in the playoffs. We have to stop this.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely with you. I mean, Dirk's 06 was phenomenal. I mean, people do want to take it away because they lost right away, but he was great. He was the best player in the league that year, and he made it, the finals the year before as well. I mean, he absolutely deserved that. Yeah, I mean, Jokic, what he's been doing, I mean, it's been phenomenal. I mean, I think I'm happy now that we're seeing Joel as the rightful, leader walking into the awards season. But, I mean, no, you can't just say, oh, no, they lost a playoff series, for whatever reason. He's not the rightful guy. And plus, remember, he's already won multiple playoff series. It's not like he's never won a single one. So no, I don't like that.
But Dave, if he wins another MVP this year, that is 3 in a row, and if he can't even get to the conference finals and make a showing, what is he really the MVP?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but
most valuable player of the playoffs. I mean, how about this? I'll tell you this. I would not name him playoff MVP. I'll take away anybody who wants to give him that award. It's gone. But regular season wise, he puts up numbers. He's a guy you can count on to be out there. He's taking a team with a roster that, again, I think will get swept in the first round. He's elevating them to a really high level, and yeah, he does it every single year. You can count on him, and without him, that they're a bad team out in Denver.
Like I said, he's taken a mediocre roster and made everybody on that team better.
Absolutely.
I mean, without a doubt, you cannot. His numbers justify how good the team is in the regular season, because these aren't empty triple doubles. I mean, look at his. I think the last time we talked about this, the MVP conversation, you look at his record when he has a triple double, Denver wins games, and you can't just throw that out the window and say that in the regular season, he's not the reason they're winning games. He's not the reason that their team is relevant. So regardless of what happens in the playoffs, because like I said, man, you like say you run into the Clippers, you run into a few other teams in the playoffs. Denver's probably going home, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Jokic has done his job over the course of a regular season, continuously making a mediocre team really good.
All right, so let me ask you guys this then. Who's the MVP, Jokic or Joel? Who is it?
I said Jokic earlier, and I'm still sticking with it.
I got Joel. I think he's the winner.
I went Jokic, but that boy Embiid has been balling, dog. Like, good God almighty. You want to talk about trying to make a stand for being the best player in the league? Look, we've talked about this over and over on this, right? One of the reasons I'm not a big Kobe guy is because I was never a big fan of that. He wasn't even shooting like 50%. He wasn't as efficient as people wanted to act like he was. Efficiency means a lot to me, in case y'all haven't realized it by now. Joel Embiid is averaging 33, 10, 4 on 54% from the field. From the field, people.
Man. And you know what? I just love the work he puts in, man, because, I mean, you got to put in work being 86% free throw shooter at that size. I mean, that's phenomenal. You know, again, when you talk about value, having my best player get the ball in the clutch, making big shots. If he goes to the line, he makes all of his free throws. Nothing more valuable than that to me. And he's a great defender as well. Cleans the boards. Talk about value. You can't talk about anybody but Joel Embiid if you want to talk about value right now.
And see, his defensive impact for me is what makes the difference between him and Jokic, right? Because they're both, as centers, as impactful as you can be in the modern game right now. Like they are top flight guys. But Embiid he's got that dog in him on defense, man. And he literally affects all the shots. Like, it's crazy. I forget exactly what the numbers are, but if you look at teams' field goal percentage with Joel on the floor versus with him off the floor, it is insane, the difference in there. If I remember right, it was like 15 percentage points difference, if I remember right. Yeah, so to me, because especially over the second half of the season, especially since the All-Star break, we have seen Joel Embiid doing nothing but balling out of control like every night. He has said, oh, y'all ain't got it tonight? Get on my back. I got it. Don't worry about it. So for me, I think Embiid should get his first MVP this year. I personally believe that if he doesn't get the MVP, it's BS. Because, yes, Jokic was probably playing the best before the All-Star break, but who's been playing the best since? Without a question, is Joel Embiid. And it's not like Joel was playing bad before the All-Star break either.
The crazy thing while we're talking about these two is Giannis is out here is averaging a modest 30, 10, and 5. And we just acting like that's the crazy thing about all of this. Like, Giannis is out here been like consistent all season, hidden dude, and it's like this is just what he's gonna do from now on. We might give it to him every now and then just because we know he deserves it, but every now and then somebody else is gonna get an award too. A Giannis may be entering that LeBron territory of he's just so consistently good that we just can't give it to him all the time.
Oh, he's not entering. He's already there. Look, if we're being honest, if you look at the statistics and like usually how the narrative stuff goes with the MVP award, right? Giannis actually had a case to win both of the last two MVPs. He really did. I mean, there's not, for most basketball fans and analysts and stuff, if you ask them who's the best player in the league, nobody really hesitates. Everybody's Giannis, right? So he honestly had an argument to win the last two, and it is crazy that he's balling out of control like he is, and he's not necessarily in the talks like this. But we know the MVP is part narrative, right? It's part, hey, you know, what's the story that we can tell with your MVP that'll make it seem like it was a great story and it was the right thing? That's why I think both Giannis, Joel and Jokic are getting more credit than him at this point. Fair? Maybe just because they're having great seasons, but the best player in the league to me, without a shadow of a doubt, is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Look, when you talk about my favorite players in the league, you go Bron, then it go Giannis. Okay, and the only reason Bron got him is because I've been riding with Bron since like junior high, bro. So like, I mean, what you want? That's my man's. Like legit, I remember seeing the first time I ever saw LeBron James tape was in 8th grade at my boy Bird's house, and I still remember it was the craziest thing because like he, you know, we were talking about it at school, and he was like, "Man, come over after school. I'll show you this video." Bro, we went to his house, and I was like, "That's a grown man playing. That ain't no dude that's our age. You stop that right now. That is a grown adult." He was like, "No, for real, that's really a dude. That's a grown man. Stop. That man got to be like 20 out there playing with some kids. You stop that." But yeah, as far as those are my two favorites, and then in a close third and fourth, I had to go Jokic. And then Embiid, because I like the way them boys get down. Hey, I especially like how Jokic, that's an ornery mug right there, boy. He don't take crap from nobody. I love that. I miss some of that in the NBA. We need more people like that in the NBA. We need some edge.
Yeah, I mean, I guess one of the things you could do is you could be like him and go spend your summers in the European, in the Alps, so you can't make too many friends instead of going to Cancun together. But whatever works for everybody.
Hey, that's why I like Giannis, because Giannis, hey, while all these dudes be kicking it with each other in the off season, hanging out, hooping, partying, all this, Giannis is like, F all that, baby. I'm in the gym. I'm putting in work. I don't need to be cool with none of y'all but my teammates. That's it. I love that he has that dog in him. I love it. Because I think that's the one thing right now that we're really missing in the NBA, right? Like, because the skill level off the charts is higher than we've ever seen in the history of the game. But we don't really have those rivalries, that deep-seated where it's like, man, them dudes don't like each other. You don't really have a lot of that. A lot of it is a lot of two buddy.
I think our last great rivalry that we have is Chris Paul and Pat Bev. That's the last, if you really think about it, that's the last rivalry that you can really point to in the NBA that we have right now.
I mean,
you got the fake stuff with Draymond and Desmond Bain, but
yeah.
Oh no, Draymond really don't like him. He don't like Dylan Brooks. He don't like him. He does not like that man.
Serious though, man. Everything he
does. But I mean, until the punch is thrown, can we really just? I mean, how hard are we gonna go for that rivalry?
You have a fair point.
Man. I think it'd be great. I love WWE. I love the NBA. Let's make it happen, man. Round 2 of the playoff. When can they play? I'm in.
I'm telling you, I miss when dudes was actually willing to fight in the league. I really do. I wish. Look, I understand why Ron Artest did what he did. I do not fault him. I do not fault any of them dudes in that team. Okay, them fans they got what they had coming. Okay, but that messed up the game, man. Because now you can't even get a little bit physical. As soon as you get a little bit physical, stare at a dude too hard, referee, technical foul. And you do nothing. So I miss that. I wish we had more of that true competitive edge where it's like, dog, hey, we could be best friends. But as soon as we cross that line onto that court, I don't even know you, fam.
Yep. Yeah, we need that. We need that in all sports, man. It's crazy that kind of football and hockey, the two physical sports where you start seeing people get after each other. And, football's most popular. But what happened in basketball and baseball? They keep, baseball keeps getting lower and lower in popularity, man. We got to see people throwing at each other and running into the catcher and shit, man. I mean,
rivalries will always help sports. They always make sports better. And right now, we don't have enough rivalries in sports for sure, especially at those what we refer to as the 4 majors in the United States, right? Like you said, football and hockey are pretty much the only places where that really happens like that now, right? Like baseball, I get why some of it has tampered down because like people stopped throwing it. People so much like that used to be the answer to everything. Oh, a dude showboats on you? Throw it at him. You know what I mean? So like we stopped a lot of that, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But I do miss that competitive edge, like when the broken bat happens and Clemens grabs it and throws it back at the guy. You know what I mean? Like you miss seeing the edge in guys like that, right? In basketball, you miss seeing that, hey, Jordan, he, fakes one way, goes back the other way, baseline, dunks on PU, and he's screaming in that man's face. Did the referee call a timeout? The technical foul? No. You miss stuff like that. And I'm not going to be one of these people that says, oh, that's when you let men be men. No. It's when you let competitors be competitors. And that's what we need to do. That's what we're losing some of that. It's like there still needs to be a competitive edge to everything.
Like baseball for me, listen, somebody going to have to fight me. Because if it's the 9th inning in a playoff series and I hit a walk-off home run, I'm staring at the pitcher for at least 10 seconds before I even take a step. I'm letting him know this right here, this is me. Y'all gonna have to fight me. I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have to fight me, bro, because you know how charged how charged you are when you hit a home run in a meaningful moment, not like first inning home run. This the game. We just sent y'all packing. I'm charged. Y'all have to fight me because I'm letting y'all know the whole time around them bases that y'all going home. That pillow gonna feel good tonight, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and hit that app and turn your AC down because you going home, player. Like, bro, I'm talking trash. Like, what? You know
that
how
exact stuff that you said is why Fernando Tatis Jr. is my favorite player in baseball right now. That's exactly why. Because he don't care about none of y'all unwritten rules. He smack a home run, he looking at that bad boy and like, damn, that look good.
They speed up baseball so much, they got time to let dudes take a little extra time down around the plate, around them bases.
Speaking of that timing thing, though, before we move on, got to ask you guys, now that we're kind of seeing the numbers in baseball, where it seems like in a lot of situations, the average time of a game has gone down almost an hour. Okay, I've been seeing a lot of games being done in right about the 2-hour mark. After last season, baseball was like basically at the 3-hour mark, if not a little bit above 3 hours for each game. Do you guys feel like this is going to help the game start to grow again now that people don't have to say, hey, man, I got to invest a chunk of my day just to be able to watch one baseball game?
I definitely think so. I mean, I'm a huge baseball fan. I mean, I go. I'm the guy that goes on baseball trips. I got a trip planned for Pittsburgh this year to go catch a game there for the first time, and I absolutely love it. Man, there's 162 of these games in a year, man. That's a lot of hours you guys spend watching baseball. I love shortening things a little bit. During the playoffs, I want to see that intensity come back. I don't know how they could do that, but for regular season, man, let's get out of here by 9 o'clock so I can be at work tomorrow 100%. I don't got to be here till 10:30, drinking beers until 9:45 when they finally cut me off. And now tomorrow I got to try to go to work. No chance.
Yeah, I definitely like this speeding up the game. Like I said, you can't what baseball was doing is time-wise was competing with football, and baseball is just not captivating like that. You don't let those guys be captivating to compete time-wise with football. They're just not. They don't allow it. So if you're not gonna, like I say, if you're not gonna allow guys to showboat, you're not gonna allow guys to show emotion. You have to shorten these bad boys up. You can't have them out there, like you said, 3 hours, maybe even longer if they go into extra innings. You can't have them boys out there for that long, have games going on that long. 162 of them bad boys going on that long. That is a lot of time invested into watching a guy trot around bases, hopefully like a robot. Nobody wants to see that. It's boring. I need a little bit. I need a bat flip. I need a bat flip. I need some trash talk. I need something. When you round first base, Give the first baseman a little something. Give him a little
Give him a
something.
little quick tap on the hip. Hey!
Yeah, give him a little something. Like, hey, you walk it off. Hey, bro, see you next time, player. We out here. You just give him something. Why, like, literally the unwritten rules of baseball is the reason why baseball has died off in popularity. You're allowing a lot of things that make no sense to govern your sport. And nobody wants to watch it now. So you had to speed it up. So maybe they might tune in.
Look, I think, me personally, I love the fact that they're doing this with baseball. I love that games are shorter. That's been one of my complaints as a baseball fan from when I was younger till now, is like, baseball games have most definitely gotten longer, bro. It's like, and they've gotten less exciting. So for me, I am happy to see this. Went to 2 different games last year, right? Went to a Cubs game and a Sox game. The White Sox game was great because they were playing pretty quick baseball. Both pitchers were working pretty quickly already in that game, and there was still some action, but the game was moving along. That Cubs game, though, I'll tell you, man, there was parts of that game where I was like, whoo, Jesus, I need to have a smoke break.
I'll tell you one thing, though. I'm going to find a way to catch Ohtani on the mound in Houston.
Hey, look, I'm already trying to figure out a way to catch Ohtani as soon as I can, because that's a dog right there. That's a whew. Never thought I'd see something like this.
What are the chances this man wins the MVP and a Cy Young in the same season?
Really good. He could do it.
I mean, he's got. It's not like he's just an average pitcher. My man is probably the best pitcher on the Angels staff
by far. Oh yeah,
by far.
He's a top 5 pitcher when he's on in the entire American League. He'd absolutely win the Cy Young award. And if he wins the Cy Young and hits any home runs, you gotta give him the MVP.
If we're being honest, if not for Verlander having the year that he had last year, he might have won it last year, bro. But Verlander, that man reached back in the time machine real quick. He was like, "Let me show y'all, I still got it." You know what I mean? Like,
for me personally, the only thing that keeps Ohtani from winning MVP is if Aaron Judge drops another 60-piece on people this year.
You have to also make history to defeat the history that Ohtani makes every year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, like I said, like
400 this year, he can win the MVP. Dude bats 370 and doesn't hit too many home runs. He's not going to beat Ohtani doing what he's doing.
Yeah. Like if Aaron Judge floats around 300 and touches 60, it's kind of hard to not give him the MVP. But at the same time, what Ohtani can do on the mound and at the plate for you in a single game, where did like, we've never seen anything like this before. And if he can keep this up for the next umpteen years, where does Ohtani end in this conversation in baseball?
He's probably going to be the GOAT.
Think about this for a second. We talk about the greatest players in baseball, and they've only done it in one aspect. If this man wins any amount of Cy Youngs and has a few MVPs under his belt, how can he not be the greatest baseball player ever? He gave it everything in a baseball game he has done for a team. Like, how do you not say he's not the greatest player?
Hey, look, he getting off to a start already this year. He already hitting 320. So Ohtani came to play this year for sure.
He was the opening day starter for the Angels. Put 11K, hit them, gave them 11 of them, but somehow they lost. That's kind of like a moot point that they lost. But this man had the juice day one. You know what I'm saying?
You want to hear some dirty stuff? Let me tell you this. If you go look right now, since Ohtani's came into the league, the pitcher who has gotten in like winning performances, right, who's gotten the least amount of run support, Shohei Ohtani. It's insane. There has been multiple games that he's won that he had to go out there, pitch the victory, and he had to put the runs on the board. Like, this dude's, he's something special that I don't know when we see someone like this again, because you may see somebody that has the skill set to pitch and hit, but to be great at both, that's wild.
And let's not be coy here, people. Ohtani is great at both. He's not just good; he's legitimately great. Like I said, he's probably a top 5 pitcher in the AL, and he could very well lead in batting average in the AL as well, and be close to the top in home runs. This is because it's not. I mean, what can't he do? And he plays the field when he's not pitching. So let's not act like my man's not out there night in and night out.
He's got close himself, man, because the rest of that team's trash, man.
Like, it's 2 players on that team, and the rest of them dudes is like single A ball players at best, Dave. Like, let's be for real.
Dude, I've watched Shohei pitch one time in real life. He pitched 8 shutout innings. He had an RBI double. Mike Trout hit a home run. They lost 3-2 in the bottom of the 9th.
That's
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
I mean, it was the craziest thing. I went with some friends and we were like, "Oh my god, we got to see it in person. This is the mythical story everyone talks about, the tall tale, and we got to see it live in person. I'll never forget
and it played out just like the tale played out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, but speaking of dirty things, each and every week there's some dirty things that go on here in the world that, Daryl's just got to bring to your attention and let you know how stupid some of y'all is out there for the things that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Daryl's Dirty of the Week.
I am so glad that y'all brought up about trash talk, competitiveness, and everything. I got to bring the whole focus to UFC press conference this weekend. I have never seen a more dysfunctional, not even a good amount of trash talk, because we're getting nullified now since the WWE and the UFC is combined as one now. Dana White over here stopping things that have been making him money all these years. Trash talk. We can't have one person talk about another interaction with another person, because these times are the times that these make fights. Conor McGregor, how much trash talk he talked about everyone, and he freaking has made a match with him. Like, this is consistent with every single Dana White person that has been going on throughout the years. This weekend, I will say, Dana White kind of pissed me off, because Dana White had some type of freaking mood. I don't even know, but it sucked. Can't make Kevin Holland do what Kevin Holland does. Talk trash to Jorge. Jorge out here being 100%. I could just speak Spanish now, and at press conferences and have no translator. We had no translator at the press conference. We had horrible questions. We had questions that were negated by Dana White. We have people just not answering questions. It's like, what's the point of a press conference if you can't do what you do to sell yourself, make a fight, all that stuff? So, my first gripe, Jorge. Jorge had been on a losing streak for how long now? I'm tired of someone asking him, "Hey, since you're here, should we bet on you?" Bet the whole house. You are a fool. Do not do that. If you like your money, keep it. Don't bet on Jorge. He made 3 people lose their money at the same night. And what did he do? Not fight. He over here smiling. Don't know how to do wrestling. Can't do takedowns. Don't do that. Nobody's going to go outside, hit they freaking pans and spoons out loud because of Jorge winning. He needs to stop this nonsense. That's one thing. Israel, I know you're emotional. I know you lost 3 times to this man. But you coming out there with a dog collar does not help anything. You look like a damn fool. You're looking like a damn fool. Just because someone never did it before doesn't mean it's a style. That is stupid. If I came out there with a whip and a straw hat, doesn't mean it's freaking, hey, this is my new style. Nah, you don't do that. You just don't do these dumb things. Yes. This man came out with a dog collar. Thinking
So
it's
you
like,
know the movie. To give y'all
No, nigga,
context,
it's, my face is not because of that. It's because of what the next thing is.
a
A
whip
whip and a straw hat, nigga. What?
yeah.
Nigga, what is going in your mind right now?
Hey, just because no one does it doesn't mean it's a new style and I'm going to create it, a narrative. That's what it's doing. This is what people do. This is what people do. I'm sorry. It's stupid. I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw that type of thing. It's like, hey, it's not normal. It's not normal to do these things. It's not a style. I'm just saying. That's why I had to bring it up. I had to do it to the full extent of craziness that I just said. Yes, I know. I understand you understand the whip and the straw hat. I understand. Now, my boy Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland. I know Dana White's your boss. But at the same time, it's some BS that you can't speak on. Hey, people get in their feelings when you call them, hey, baby girl, or anything else like that. If people get in their feelings, they get in their feelings. But if I'm getting answered by a question by the press about what happened with the altercation, and Dana White out here saying, that's a stupid question. If they ain't fighting, why ask it? This guy has to be the most clownish thing he ever said in his life. He had never told Conor McGregor, hey, that's a stupid question. Hey, Conor, you're not fighting Jeremy Stevens. Don't comment on it. Don't do any of these things. I think this is a horrible, horrible situation. And it's coming to press conference. If press conferences are going to be like this since the merge, I'm not going to watch another press conference. They shouldn't even be making these press conferences. The whole point of press conferences is seeing how they're going to do, what's their game plan, what's their mind looking like before the fight. I know it's some dumb type of entertainment, but at the same time, it's for the crowd's entertainment before the fight. We got to have something to motivate us to watch this darn pay-per-view. Like, we don't want to be over here guessing like, hey, okay, Israel lost to this guy 3 times. He's going to lose again. Okay. This man mad. And then you got Pierre just saying normal stuff, not talking trash or anything else. It's like the most nicest press conference I ever heard in my life. Now, there's a third thing about this whole thing that really bothers me. We're making fights that don't make sense. I want to bet to make this man have a clown face. It worked because it was the spice of the moment. It was the spice of the unknown. Now, this is not the spice of the unknown. I know what the end result's going to be. And this is stupid. I do not want to see Amanda Nunes versus Pena 3. You just made a whole case about freaking Leon Edwards and Usman having a third fight. You just made a whole big thing about, hey, we have the flyweight belt having 4 times the guys facing each other. Y'all trying to make unnecessary matches. There's definitely people in the bantamweight division that want to face Nunes. If you think this fight's going to sell money, not at all. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see none of it. I don't even want to see the press conference. That press conference is going to be horrible. It's not even going to have a stat card. It'd be one of those, hey, Amanda Nunes is the main event. No title fight underneath of it. Let's have some weak match. Let's put in what is it? Let's get your favorite fighter. Let's put Patty. Let's put Patty against Gordon again. On top of that, if that ever happens, we got Gordon as a co-main event, and then we got good old Amanda Nunes and Pena. That thing's gonna bomb. That's gonna bomb worse than What was
He
the
lost it. He lost it. There it was.
I lost it.
Boy, hey, them gushers started wearing off.
You know what? I hate myself, but at the end of the day, I'm really feeling disappointed with like this whole merging thing. It's like all one big secret now. Like we already know that the UFC and WWE had merged into one, but if we're acting like press conferences and trash talking and competitiveness, like the whole thing about it is why are we nullifying simple things that we always had? Like what happened to rivalries? What happened to trash talk? Like what's the point if you can't do that in fighting? And fighting is the main thing about trash talk and rivalries. Why would we nullify it?
So you're saying that you believe these press conferences now are going to be more like theatrical?
They're going to be
Then
PG. They're going to be PG.
Usually they're going to be PG, like they're going to be somehow scripted in some way.
Scripted versus PG. I'd rather have at least a scripted rivalry than a PG, like don't answer this question type stuff. Like that's nonsense. Like if we can ask stupid questions about, hey, should I bet on you and everything else, and you just had a whole thing about a fighter putting bets in and stuff and everything, I don't understand. That's a stupid question. That's like a dumb question. Why should you should ask that to everybody in the panel. If it feels messed up with that someone that's on the first fight of the card only gets asked one question, next person gets like 2, and then the next person gets like 7 questions. I think that's not fair. If you want to just do that, just do the co and main. That's it. Don't do the whole card if you're not going to answer all the questions. You make the press feel bad that the person never asked that question.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was another trip into the mind of a absolute lunatic. Let me tell you that much. Okay? He sees crazy stuff go on each and every week, and he thinks, man, that's some dirty crap. I got to make sure I expose it. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Daryl's Dirty of the Week. Mace, it is official. Daryl's Dirty of the Week is just random. It's whatever has grinded his gears within the last like 2-3 days. That's what Daryl's Dirty of the Week is going to be. It's proof now. 100% proof.
He's my man. Hey, my man he goes on. Hey, I like the quality of random thought that he gives us. I'm here for it.
Hey, I can go back to DoorDash. That was fun.
Man, you leave them out of this, man. Those are hard.
We're not doing that.
Those are hard-working individuals, bro. You leave them out of this.
We're not doing that again. We are not doing that. Dave, tell the people where to find you.
Man, you can find me with you, Jerome. We gotta get rolling with this, brother.
Yeah. See, you already know.
I don't do too much on social media, so I'm just waiting for us to get some content to put up there, then we can start talking about where to find me.
Mace, tell the people where to find you.
You know, man, Twitter, funky_stuff09. Also hit me up on Twitch, twitch.tv/swaggymace. Yeah, come follow me. Enjoy your time when you do. I'm excellent. So follow me.
Mr. Low Elo, tell the people where to find you.
I want to make a Reddit so I can rant.
Reddit so you can rant.
Twitch, YouTube, Low Elo Janitor. No, I need to, because he said they work hard. They work hard being blind. That's what they do. Don't see.
Do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You do not need to be putting some of your thoughts on paper. Don't do it. Just take her from a friend. At J Spiderman everywhere. You either see my pretty face or you see the ITC logo. We already know. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow everything. Make sure you hit the notification bell so when we drop new content that you see it drop. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was another resounding episode of your favorite weekly sports show, and that is ITC
Sportsball.
Yeah.